What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. This is the Real Housewives of Potomac recap titled In a Pickle. And it begins with Nneka picking up her husband, who is a traveling doctor. So shout out to all the doctors out there and, the traveling ones. I know quite a few traveling nurses who get paid very well, right? As they should, because they're spending time away from their families. They get paid a per diem and they earn every single penny. Okay. So she picks him up from the airport and they talk about her ovulation schedule, which is great. They're trying to have a baby. One thing I noticed though that was really interesting, she is wearing a fur and he is wearing his scrubs. And so I don't know. I just find that very interesting, especially like post COVID. Most doctors that I know have a few friends who are physicians, pediatricians. They don't, I've never seen or known anyone to travel in their scrubs. Usually, they'll take a quick shower in the hotel or even in the hospital, the physician's lounge, and they'll, or the locker room or whatever, and they'll change really quickly. So maybe he didn't have time. Who knows? But I just think that it's really interesting to see, or to, for him to get on a plane, to go from the hospital to the plane to the car. And I'm hoping it's a rental car because that's a lot of germs and transfer. And then the fact that he, has on scrubs with like no coat or anything, and that she has on a full fur. So I don't know if that was her Nigerian flex. My grandma used to have mini furs back in the day, but I haven't seen anyone under 50 in a fur. But, shout out to Nneka. So moving on to, speaking of under 50, no, I'm joking. We have Gizelle and Robyn, and they meet up at a restaurant because Gizelle is in her, she's fully embracing her cougar, stage in life, I guess. She's flirting with the waiter, and she's dating Jason, who's 36, and they're asking how old the waiter is. He's 28. And I'm just like, it's just I don't necessarily find that a good look or fun. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Gizelle, she doesn't ever have much of a storyline without meddling in other people's business. So I guess her bringing on Jason from Winter House was her her storyline. But she's also, just very I don't know, just like tacky. And I mean, and it goes beyond the fashions. I'm just like, Gizelle, oh, like she is a gorgeous woman. She's a great mother. But as far as everything else, just tacky. Like, flirting with the waiter, like that power imbalance, it's really uncomfortable. I've been a waitress for many years when I was younger. And the guys who would flirt, it just makes you really uncomfortable because it's like, you want to smile and kind of bear through it because you want a nice tip and for them to hurry up and get out of your face, especially if they're older, right? Like, I don't know. The whole thing was just uncomfortable to watch. But anyway, going back to what they were talking about, right? So they're talking about Wendy's mom. And if you guys remember, it was brought up that Wendy's mom was essentially, she had a shrine and she was, doing some type of voodoo hex, um, which is really problematic, right? So not only, is Nneka and her husband the other Nigerian couple on the show, but now Wendy and her mother are accused of performing witchcraft or considered, witches. And a lot of people online are dragging Nneka for, I guess, I don't know, saying this or airing Nigerian dirty laundry. I don't know. Everybody in communities are different. But I will say that that's a very serious accusation. As we know from previous episodes where we saw the boys in the Catholic church and her mom praying. But at the same time, her mom is very domineering. Like she has that takeover spirit. So I don't know. I'm hoping that it's not true, but yeah, allegedly that's really a serious accusation. But moving right along from them to Candice. So Candice is actually meeting up with her mother, right? So they're sitting outside. They have a nice, charcuterie board spread. And so Candice is telling her mom about how expensive things have gotten in far as far as her tour. And, she is basically coming out of pocket for everything, the promotion, the marketing, the band, all these things. And her mom is like, okay, well, where is Chris in all of this? Which is a very that's a very good question, right? Um, but Candice, she basically says that Chris is doing his own thing and she's trying to hold things down as best as she can. But she also says that she feels like she has gained her mother's respect in regards to her being successful on the tour, which I'm sure that she's going to get all the money back from the promotional cost once she is turning a profit after this tour. So, because it's a promotional tour, and so once that's successful, then she can compound on that and add on more cities and more shows. And so, shout out to Candice doing her thing. She's one of the ones who's actually been successful using her platform to promote her music and her craft. Okay, so Karen gets everybody together for pickleball, and and Karen, the grand dame, she will read you down. Okay, so Meg the Stallion came out saying that Karen Huger is one of her favorite, or is her favorite woman and castmate on the Real Housewives of Potomac, because Karen said that Juan, he has been showing up, which is great. He really doesn't have any other employment opportunities at the current moment, so he's been showing up for filming more so than we've seen in any other season. And they both come dressed in black. And Robyn, for some reason, everybody else has on, like athleisure wear, you know, like stretch pants or whatever. And she comes in this like sheer leotard. Like she looks like she's ready for dance class or like a recital. And so Karen Karen is just she's a mess. She's like, put that away. Nobody wants to even want. Karen, that is messy. She's messy, messy, messy boots. So basically the girls get together and Wendy and Nneka start going at it. And that's what we see here in my screenshot. They're basically saying back and forth, like, well, I don't have a problem with you. I don't know you. And Wendy's like, well, I just said that I don't know you either. And so they're going back and forth, squabbling. And then their husbands get into it because of an unfollow on Facebook, right? So apparently Eddie has unfollowed Nneka's husband on Facebook. The way that I would not know or care in the year of our Lord 2023, we are literally a month and some change out from 2024. Facebook, guys, really? This is what we're doing? And the fact that he would get upset, you're a whole doctor out here, sir, traveling the country, healing people. Why would you care if someone unfollowed you on Facebook? I think that Wendy, because Eddie, he seemed kind of like, I don't know, did I unfollow you? Who knows? Seriously, who knows and who cares? I think Wendy did it, to be honest, but that's just my theory. But so Wendy's like, you know what? You know who I'm really gonna make up with? Mia. She takes Mia on the aside and she's like, yeah, let's go ahead and squash this. And I don't know, her and Nneka, I don't know if Wendy feels threatened by Nneka and her husband as the new Nigerian couple on the block, but it seems that way. It really does. And speaking of being a threat, so the food falls over and Candice is a mess. She's like, oh my goodness, it's the demons coming to get us. Child, that's one thing I do not play about. Okay. We don't play demonic forces over here on this end. Okay. But yeah. So Karen finds out, she's like, it's Juan. him being the star athlete that he is, coach of the year out here, um, he, runs into the wall and knocks over the food. So, and Karen's joking with him, but again, Karen, you don't want to be too snuggled up with one because you already said that he makes you uncomfortable. So that's how yeah, the situation ends. Just people just being messy at pickleball. I would love if, we could all get along, but then the show would be really boring. But I do hope that, Wendy and Nneka can find some kind of peace, because it's like, when people are too much alike and they're just, they're trying to flex on each other, because Wendy gets up and twirls around and she's like, it's a flop. It's a flop. Like, baby, you're not Kenya Moore. I need you to have several seats. Okay. I feel like yeah, Wendy and Eddie, they may be threatened by the new kids on the block. And Nneka, I hope that you can hold your own and protect your husband and his profession, especially if you guys are trying to be parents, because it's just, the mess is not worth it. If somebody unfollowed me on Facebook, the way, child, I would have no earthly idea, nor would I care. But I want to hear from you guys. Not Facebook. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I will talk with you in the next video. Take care, Aces. Bye.